Frank, just how good is a trip like this good for building team chemistry and really getting those extra days of practice? And how much does that help?
Yeah, Dave, my plan was to do this next summer. But when we had that change on roster that we didn't expect to have, then all of a sudden our team was going to become very top and bottom heavy in experience. And I don't think it'd be fair to Sindarius and Justin and Dwayne, guys that have sacrificed so much for so many years, to not give them every opportunity of the senior year for us to become the best team that we can. So, I think I shared this before, the biggest myth in all of sports is that teams with great chemistry hang out with each other off the court. It's not necessarily the truth. Some guys do, some guys don't. It is what it is. A trip like this, when guys break practice and they hang out in the locker room for an hour and they kind of, give each other a hard time for an hour in there, when they leave, they got friends, family, other people that they spend their time with. A trip like this makes them have to spend time with each other. So those freshmen and those seniors get a better understanding for each other. As a coach, obviously you guys are told Fig is kind of running the show. I'm kind of his assistant. I'm kind of watching. I'm able to have real conversations about basketball in a non-competitive environment from the standpoint of the importance of winning a game. And I think that'll be real healthy for everybody.
Is it nice, though, to kind of have that top-heavy thing right now where you do have so many seniors that they can rely on with these young freshmen coming in?
Compared to 3 years ago?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Holy cow. 3 years ago seems like I was still Phil's age back then. I'm real old now. Listen, you need, I don't care how you cut the cake. Even, Cal's best teams at Kentucky, they've always had those upperclassmen that get the team through difficult times. I look at Duke last year with a lot of unbelievable freshmen. They lost, I can't remember his name, the one upperclassman frontline guy. Jefferson. They lose Jefferson for the year, and then it was kind of a work in progress for a little while there. You need to have those older guys, and when you're older guys, you're guards, and real good guards at that, it lets you kind of ease through the transition phase a little bit.
How's the competition going to be you're going to face over there?
It's playing grown men, and it's officiated differently, which is, Sindarius has been exposed to it when I took him with me to Estonia. None of these other guys, I disagree with Mike Kotsar, he's been exposed to it playing in Estonia, but the rest of the guys have never played this international brand. It's officiated differently. It's pretty much if you bleed, there's a foul. If you don't bleed, then keep playing, and you better not pout. So it'll be a great tool for our young kids. This isn't high school anymore. They're not going to call that foul because you're the biggest, strongest kid on the court. You better learn to play through things and not allow officiating or the physicality of the game impact on how you do your job.
Frank, will you go ahead and start putting in a couple of offensive and defensive sets, or just kind of let the guys play?
Yeah, no, we're putting in structure. We're not going there as a rec team. We're putting in structure. What we're doing is the structure that we're going to defensively is what we're going to change. On offense, we're not running any set plays for a player, but we're putting our set offensive structure. Then they have to play within that structure. Defensively is what we're going to change. We're going to do a lot of things that, in my coaching career, I have never trusted to invest time in these things. We don't get practice games, and everyone says, well, when it's not your personality to coach zone, and you work 2 days of zone practice, and you go into a game and you're not as committed to it, you lose a game because you're experimenting with a new defense. Well, guess what? That game haunts you forever and ever and ever. And so this gives us the opportunity that we're not going to be denying and all that. We're going to switch screens. We're going to play soft man-to-man. And when I mean soft, I don't mean unaggressive. I just mean not as close to the half-court line as we usually do. We're going to play more zone. We're going to try and trap. We'll do different things that I don't that I've never, and this is why I'm stepping back too. I want to be able to sit here and watch these things run, so I can gain confidence. And one thing is sitting there watching TV and watching another team trap, saying that works good for them, but it doesn't work for us. Well, being able to watch our guys trap, hopefully will give me confidence that we can do something.
Do you feel like this is a team that can maybe push the pace a little bit more this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've played faster every year I've been here, and that comes with depth. Once again, I'm now the assistant coach, but the acting HC over there, you guys, he's the guy with the stats like I've always told you. I want to say we took the second most shots, second or third most shots in the SEC last year. It was Kentucky, LSU, and us, or Kentucky, us, LSU, one or the other. We won't play fast, Brian. I don't like slow basketball. That's why the shot clock might impact others. It really hasn't had an impact on us because we want to play fast offensively.
Frank, this is going to be a great opportunity for you and your coaches because usually you don't get to see these guys in this setting at this time of year.
Yeah.
You can see the progress or lack of, or get it in the right direction of what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Football has spring practice. We don't have spring practice. We got individuals. Individuals does not gauge your team. This is our spring practice. And it gives us 10 practices. I've seen unbelievable growth from the first year guys from 6 days ago or 7 practices ago to yesterday. The upperclassmen, they're starting to take their personality. You got to understand, Michael, Lamonas, Mendogas, and Darius, to a certain extent, their personality ran last year's team. Well, 3 of those 4 guys aren't here anymore. So now PJ's starting to put his personality in there. Dwayne's being more vocal. Justin Mackey has been phenomenal. And then obviously Sindarius has grown within who he is. And so all those things put together, Pete, it allows us to see the personality of our team, which way it's going. Allows us to see our guys competing. I don't care how many one-on-one drills we do. And you got to understand, I grew up with my high school coach was from our neighborhood. He made us, when we were 10 years old, play one-on-one until one of us literally just couldn't go anymore. There was no quitting and there was no fighting. But you better compete or he'd make you run forever. So you learned to compete. You didn't quit. You didn't hold your head. You didn't say, I can't guard somebody. But there's only so much you can get from those one-on-one levels. You have to see guys in team settings. And so this trip, and as a staff, every year we have a 3-4 day period where we kind of get away from our families to sit down and talk ball to prepare for the year. Well, we're going to be able to do this and be around our players and our wives at the same time. So it's, it should be a heck of an experience.
Frank, when do you expect Rand to be on campus, and then what need does he fill for you?
Yeah, Rand and Rand, let me get this right here. I tend to mess up dates. That's why Phil's always asking me about certain deadlines, and I'm not real good with it because if I speak, I'm going to mess it up. Rakeem Felder gets you on the 14th because he's got orientation on the 15th. Rand gets you on the 15th because he's got orientation on the 16th. And I think classes start on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. They're both cleared. They're both good to go. Rand, which is a concern to me. I shouldn't say concern makes everyone nervous. Which it's the unexpected for me right now, which is the inexperience on the front line. How are guys going to manage the long grind of a season? Rand is an older guy. Rand, where our big guys right now are more athletes than basketball players. Mike is more of a basketball player, but Chris is more of an athlete than a basketball player. Him not being on campus the first summer kind of hurt him a little bit, and even in the spring, not being able to take part of certain things hurt him. But he's okay. KG, CD, they're more athletes than basketball players. Rand is basketball player than athlete. So that experience, he's 6'8", 6'9", really pass the ball, can defend. Good shooter, not a great shooter, but a good shooter. So I'm pretty comfortable we can slide him to the 3. So, you can play now Rand, and another big guy and another big guy. It gives us the size that I've been looking for since I got here. And at the end of the day, it's an experienced guy, you know, because once you go past Sindarius, Dwayne, Justin, PJ, all of a sudden that experience number really drops. Gives you a guy he's older and he's played 2 years of college ball.